Do you make themed birthday cards? I do. These are, I'm gonna call them 4th of July cards, red, white, and blue. There's no fireworks, there's no stars, there's no flags, but just by using red, white, and blue, I'm gonna show you how to make cards, probably with stuff you already have in your craft room. If not, I'll tell you which stamp sets and punches that I use to make these cards. Welcome, welcome. I am Dawn, creator at Dee Dee Creates Crafts, and this is the channel for simple cards, duplicatable crafts, helpful hints, and this is the kind of channel you're looking for. Go ahead and hit subscribe right now while it's fresh on your mind, and I also want you to find me again. Today is Card Class Day, our July Card Class Day. For those of you that have ordered the kits, this is your instructional video. For everyone else, you can still watch and use the supplies you have in your craft room, or you can order the supplies that I'm using, and I'll put that down in the description section. Before we begin, I want to do a drawing. I started advertising a drawing on June 7th, and you had through June 31 to enter. So here's my bucket. Here's all my names. I'm going to draw a name, and that is our lucky winner. So here we go. I'm going to open this one up. And our lucky winner is Linda. Linda Swirsky, you won. So you are gonna get a prize package from me worth over $55, and it includes a stamp set and the next month's card class. It just is chock full of goodies. So I will be contacting you, getting your mailing address, and sending that off to you this week. Are you ready to move on and make some cards? I'm going to turn you down, so let's get started. All right, our first card that we are going to make is going to be this one. I am calling it the triple jar card. So I'm going to put that there so you can watch along as I create our card. Now, I shared with you, I'll tell you what I used for these cards. The stamp set is called Jar of Flowers. How appropriate the name is, isn't it? So it's got 4 different flowers. You can stamp in color, the jar, and then this is even a straw if you want to make a little jar of lemonade. How cute is that? And then the punch is a jar. So simple, and I think you're going to enjoy that as well. I want to show you a few sample cards of the jar that I've made in the past. This one, you can make it so it looks like clear water and the little stems of your bouquet are sticking out. You can use solid cardstock to make your jar, whatever you want to do in this whole wide world. This is an extremely versatile set, and this is the second card class I have used this very stamp set and punch for. So, letting you know that when I encourage you and show you a stamp set or die or punch I'm in love with, I will be showing you multiple ways to use the set to give you the best bang for your buck. Your first card, the triple card, you are going to use the thicker white cardstock and cut it just as we always do for an A2 card at 5.5 by 8.5. Fold it in half or score it at 4 1/4. Your next layer is the red layer, and this is 5 1/4 by 4. So that's going to line up just like that. And we have another layer, the 5 by 3 3/4 white layer, and this is the one we're mainly going to be working with. So let's put our first 2 layers aside with the white layer. All that was your step 1. Cut, step 1. Now your step 2, we're going to stamp and we're going to punch. And the reason for my Dee Dee Creates Crafts channel is 1, to introduce you to me, 2, introduce you to Stampin' Up! Products, and 3, show you how to use the products and teach you simple cards and projects you can feel confident making. Did you know that when you order products with me, it helps support this channel? Yes, it does, and I thank you for those that already do that. Your step 2 is to stamp your 3 jars like we have done here. So let's get our little baby jars out. I have already stamped the blue one. I have already stamped the white one. I've actually already stamped the red one. So that's your step number 2. Also part of step 2, we're going to punch out the red little mason jar. Okay, what comes first, the chicken or the egg? Meaning, do you stamp first, then punch like I did, or do you punch first, then stamp? Do you know both are correct? It's just a matter of personal preference and your comfort level. Ink. My personal comfort level, my personal preference is to stamp first. I'm just going to say that personal preference, it does not matter. I've also gone ahead and pre-stamped our sentiment and our flowers because we're going to line up our jars on top of that. But the first thing I want to do is line up our stripes, our red, light blue, and dark blue. I've made, when you have your kits, I did make your strips longer than the actual layer because we're gonna cut it off, and I just wanted it simpler for you, and I didn't want you to have to feel like you have to line it all up. For me, it was easier to start with my red, which is the lowest on the totem pole. It's our bottom little strip. There I go. My glue was getting a little temperamental there. So I'm gonna line that up down here. My ends are extending a little bitty bit. And my blue, I'm gonna put my edges up against each other. If you want a little personalization, you can leave a little white space in between your strips. This is how I made my sample card, so this is how I'm gonna continue. But I like to give you ideas to personalize your cards. I find when I do live classes that all of us that are making cards, we're making the exact same card, and guess what? They all look a little different because we're all personalizing it and just putting our little spin on it. There we go. So I'm gonna turn it over. I do have a little glue on the excess there, but I'll have to wipe it off my scissors, and that's my only issue with that. Unless it sticks to the scissors. All right, here we go. Cutting off the other edges of our strips. And now it's looking more like we like it, don't you think? All right, so part of step 3 is to stamp your flowers, stamp your sentiment. These are gonna be flat on the layer. And step 4, we're gonna adhere everything together. So let's go ahead and bring our base back in. Bring our red layer. We've got our sentiment layer. Here I go. So I'm gonna adhere down my red. And this is your step 4, to adhere your pieces together and add your bling. And even a bow if you want. I am gonna do a bow. I think most of you are finding, I tend to do bows and bling. I just feel like it's so stinking cute. All right, so I'm adhering this down flat. Each of your layers is gonna have a little margin that will frame the layer that is on top of it. Yes, these are going down flat. We are going to, just with dimensionals, pop up that center jar. I don't want to pop up too much because of stamps and running it, not stamps like stamping, but stamps like postage stamps. So I am going to put us a little adhesive, little glue around our jar, and line my jar up where it is holding the bouquet of flowers. And I'm gonna see where I want my white so I can line up my red. Perfect. So I'm gonna line up my red. I see where I want it. And you can do that. You don't have to adhere something down. You don't have to adhere blindly. Go ahead and use your other pieces and kind of eyeball where you want everything. These also, I did tend to stair step them just to add, again, a little more pizzazz, a little more dimension. I think I am gonna use, this is overkill, but I'm gonna use a little more of my dimensionals. Did I get that one? There we go. This is a take-a-pick. I just love it. And a little bit of a learning curve with it just to get the feel for it. But once you get the feel, this helps so much with picking things up. This side has a little bit of, feels like chewing gum, but I don't know what the substance is, putty, but it does pick up your rhinestones beautifully. And then on the other side of this is a little spatula, and I have used this, you guys, when I need to unstick something that's stuck. And does it work every time? No, but that's its purpose. And when I say it doesn't work every time, it's if it is, the glue has adhered too long. Our tape runner has sat there too long. Then it will, it might not work for us. Now, you can do one of two things. You can use some cute twine. You can use a ribbon to make your bow. I think that had a knot in it, so I'm just gonna do a little red bow. So I just make two little bunny ears with a nice amount of space in the middle. The right-handed bow loop goes over the top. The left loop goes around and back and comes through the hole. Pull tight. Now lightly pinch your knot. Pull, pull, pull on the tails. And then you're gonna keep doing this until your bow is exactly the size that you want. I think I want mine a little smaller, you guys. I like it. Okay, so we're gonna cut off these tails a little bit at an angle, and then go ahead with a glue dot and adhere that down. Now this is fairly simple, don't you think? I promised you simple cards. Oh, I just think that's the dearest. Let's add some bling and we are done. All right. These are just diamond looking bling, kind of basic, kind of beautiful. Sometimes what I like to do is really emphasize my sentiment so that my person really feels like my recipient, I really want them to feel loved, and I really want them to feel like the sentiment is what I'm, there, come on up, come to mama, is, you know, one of the main reasons for my card. I think I'll just put that right there. So this card is finished for you, our triple jars from the jar of flowers and from the jar punch. So our next card, I'm gonna pull right out. And I'm gonna put that down at the bottom so you can watch as I make it along. I love seeing, I wanna know in advance what a person in the video is making, so that's why I do that. I show you up front what we're gonna make, and I show you as I'm making it. That's just me, but something that's important to me when I watch someone's videos. So if something I like, I try to duplicate that for you. Now these flowers are this daisy punch, and this is called the medium daisy punch, medium daisy. So I did not give you a sample, so I'm actually gonna, see, very nice, the way it punches out. So what I did was punch two flowers to make one. So with our red here, punched the two daisies, and we're gonna glue them together. So I just put a blob of glue in the middle, and I want all the little petals to show, so I rotate it until they're all showing. Does it have to be perfect? No. And sometimes you twist, and I feel like this area has more covered than that area. Does not matter. Does not matter. So I'm gonna let that dry just a few minutes for us. These are already dry. I've got our base card. I'm calling this the flower card. So again, our base is the same, 8.5 by 5.5. Fold it in half or score it at 4 1/4. The next piece is your designer series paper, and this one is colored the background has the Night of Navy. So this is my Night of Navy designer series paper. And you're gonna cut this at 2 1/4 by 5 1/4. 2 1/4 by 5 1/4. So I'm gonna go ahead. No, we're gonna keep cutting. All right, your next piece, you're gonna cut a piece of white. Again, same size, 2 1/4 by 5 1/4. But then we're gonna die cut it. And this die that made this nice, pretty little scalloped edge is from the Color and Contour die set. And this is what we're gonna use for August card class. Color and Contour stamp set, and then I think it's Contour something for the matching dies. And I'll put that in the description because I can't remember the names. So then also part of step 1 is die cut your scalloped edge onto the white cardstock. If you're having fun so far, have you learned something? Are you having fun? Go ahead and go boop and hit the like button. And that helps the YouTube know that you like this and you think, and they will think that it needs to be shared with more people. So thank you for hitting that like button. Thank you, thank you. So I'm actually as part of let me look where my little, there I go. Step 2 is I'm gonna adhere that designer series paper towards the bottom of our base card, leaving a margin on 3 of the sides, just to get it up and out of the way. And then again, part of step 2, we're gonna adhere I have stamped it, so go ahead as part of your step 2 and stamp your sentiment, and then we're gonna adhere this down, and the scallop is gonna overlap your designer series paper. Now, I hope you realize and I know it's obvious, but I feel the need to say it and share it. Your cards do not have to be red, white, and blue. They do not. This would be so pretty in any color of designer series paper that you have. All right, so I have made sure all my edges meet and it's overlapping. And I love the scalloped edge. I just think it adds a little more femininity, it adds a little more detail, and I just love it. For my inside, I did stamp a little jar, and I'm gonna put that and sneak that to the inside of our card. So let's go ahead and adhere that down. Still part of your step 2. For the darker cardstock, I do add an inside layer to write a sentiment or stamp a sentiment. However, if it's lighter cardstock like the white one, I don't add a layer to the inside. I just thought I'd share that. Now, I had to feel them, but yes, I did pop up our flowers. So let me see. This poor little guy, I'm gonna see if I can wipe that off a little bit. My red one, it's still my little glue is showing through. I'm gonna wipe off any excess, even though it would dry clear. You can still see a little bit, but that's okay. Now you can put it down, but make sure it doesn't extend beyond the red base. And here we go. My little pretty blue flowers. And if you want to come down here, if you want to go a row this way, this is what part of the personalization is that I love when I do a live class, is to see what everybody does with their flowers. And I do want to encourage you, if you make these at home, whether you have the kits or not, would you share what you're making? I would love to see it. So go ahead and with, here's my thingy. Here's my bling. Go ahead and put it on your social media with the hashtag DDCreatesCrafts, or you could absolutely look for me on Instagram or Facebook and just post your picture there. I would love, 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 love that. I love seeing your work. It just warms my heart to know that you actually make and use goodies from the videos that I share with you. I'm gonna turn her around now. What? How cute are these? You guys, for more videos just like this one, all you have to do is hit the subscribe button. Do not worry about subscribing. No one contacts you, and your name is not made public. So please, yes, subscribe, because I want you to find me again. I have fun videos all the time. So these are the two cards. Do you have a favorite? And I want to know, what did you eat for 4th of July? I had hot dogs and baked beans and some chips. Just a small 4th of July. I did get to see some fireworks. But I want to know, what did you eat? What did you either make? Did you make a potato salad? What did you eat? Tell me, what's your specialty or what's your favorite? And I'm going to turn the camera up now so that I can say goodbye to you. And I hope you had a good time. And I do want you to remember that celebration is going on as we speak. You get free stuff, free stuff from the Celebration catalog with your orders of 50 or more. And you also get free stuff from me. And I'll put all that juicy detail down in the description section. So what are the 3 things I want you to remember when we close out our videos? I want you to remember to subscribe. I want you to remember to like the video. And most importantly, I want you to remember to come back and see me again soon. Thanks for watching. Bye now.